Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Episode 36 of the Clint Cronin Show. We're on location here in San Diego, California at 99 Jiu Jitsu headquarters, sitting down with their leader, Eduardo Telles, the Turtle Guard Master. Now, San Diego's awesome. I love coming down here. It's a beautiful place. Jiu Jitsu's wonderful. The beach is wonderful. The food's great. The people are nice. And traffic isn't even that bad. Doesn't have that SoCal heavy traffic thing that LA has. So when I'm in LA, I sit there and I look at Google Maps. I'm like, okay, I want to go to this gym and this gym. You could have 20 miles distance, take 3 hours with traffic. That's no bullshit. I've done this multiple times. So if you're thinking about doing a jiu-jitsu trip to Southern California, make sure you account for traffic. It's easy to say, okay, we're going to train at this place in the morning and this place at night, but it's not very realistic. You want to make sure you're able to have a good time and you get to the places that you really want to get to. So make sure you stay close enough to whatever gym you're trying to visit. Traveling around and knocking out these podcasts and training with all these different academies, managing time and the travel and really planning the commute with traffic has been a thing. But San Diego, not so much. San Diego doesn't have that crazy traffic and everything's pretty close together. Even though it's not the smallest town, it's not as hard to get from gym A to gym B with the traffic in San Diego. So a little food for thought. Definitely, if you can make a trip down to Southern California to do a little jiu-jitsu training, I totally recommend it. You would definitely get better for it. The level down here is tremendous. It's basically, I've had it described to me as Brazil without the crime. I don't like saying it that way because I love Brazil. I love Rio de Janeiro. I love Sao Paulo. I love visiting Brazil. Spent plenty of time down there over the last decade, so I'm not a guy to knock that place. I love you guys. Otherwise, I had a great time sitting down with Eduardo. I had a great time training. They're double tough over there. I did no-gi once and then did a little gi class. We just recorded this before last Monday's gi class, so it's definitely a fun place to come and check out. You guys know that in order to keep up this schedule of traveling all around, some people drink coffee. I'm with the Azoth, A-Z-O-T-H. Azoth combines the world's most potent nootropics and clinically researched sports performance ingredients. Nootropic, you heard that word a second ago. If you didn't know, it's a brain supplement. You would take protein or creatine or branched chain amino acids, stuff like that for your muscles. Azoth or nootropics in general, that's a supplement for your brain. It helps improve focus, memory, and just keeps you in gear, right? It's definitely got some pep to it. There's no caffeine, but it's definitely not stimulant free. It wakes you up and it keeps you going, and there's no crash. It's definitely something that helps me get my work done. So for being a listener and a subscriber, if you use the keyword Cronin, Cronin, at Seeking Azoth, that's SeekingAzoth.com, seekingazoth.com, you'll get 15% off your order. Now to the main event, Eduardo Telles, Turtle Guard Master, here on the Clint Cronin Show. Again, thanks guys for listening. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, share it with your friends, and be sure and stick around for the next coming episodes. Got lots of awesome stuff coming up. If you missed the one with Jean-Jacques Machado or the one with Boogeyman, definitely be sure and check those out. And again, thanks for listening.
Como se o silêncio dissesse tudo, sentimento bom que me leva pro outro mundo. A vontade de te ver já é maior que tudo. Não existem distâncias no meu novo mundo.
And welcome back, episode 35 of the Clint Cronin Show. We've got Eduardo Telles, the Turtle Master, here at 99 Jiu Jitsu headquarters in San Diego, California. How are you, my friend?
I'm very good, Clint. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's a beautiful city. It's a beautiful academy. I'm very happy to be here, man. We had some great training last week I was lucky to be a part of. This week we're back. So what's new with you? What's going on in the mats this week?
Yeah, this week we're training like for the San Diego Open. There will be a good IBJJF competition in the town, and we are training hard for it.
Very nice. I know there's a lot of tournaments coming up very soon. There's San Diego Open. I think the end of next month, Las Vegas International Open. I was just in Las Vegas last couple of days. Then we have ADCC trials coming up the 15th of this month or something.
With some super cool super fights, right?
Oh yeah. I'm planning to be there. I signed up too late to do press at this place, and I'm kind of waddling on like 1.5 knees right now. So I think I'm just gonna watch and just see how everybody does. We have the American Cup up north, and I think San Jose or Santa Cruz also. But this might as well be a world away for you guys to have plenty of tournaments in San Diego to hold you gugi over, especially with LA this close.
Yeah, and there's the one from Boogeyman, right?
Boogeyman's got one coming up as well. 16-man no-gi tournament. They've got some cash prizes and stuff. So it's
I
very
have
cool.
a student competing, so yeah.
Oh, cool. Which one of you guys is going?
Johnny.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Is it 145?
145, yes.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I had the privilege actually last week as well. I was over at 10th Planet with Boogeyman, so that episode will drop a week before this one, basically. But yeah, both of your guys, both of your gyms have some really great talent. The no-gi guys are crazy. And
Thank you, Clint.
yeah, the level is insanely high in California, and I think the concentration, as I'm starting to see, is further south. And even with as many good guys as we have up north, this is basically they say like Rio without the crime. I say like Rio with like different crime. It's a really great place to be. I know there's a big jiu-jitsu tourism kind of market around here. And I can tell because when you look up your Jiu-Jitsu Academy, or everybody on Yelp, everybody's website, it says free introductory class for residents only.
Yeah, because there's a lot of visitors, yeah.
See, that's how we don't have that disclaimer up in Northern California.
Okay.
I don't see that as often, so that's how you know it's a thing, right? So,
for sure, yeah.
So you came to the United States what year?
Oh, it was like almost 5 years ago.
Very cool.
Yeah, my gym has almost like 4 years. 1 year in this location.
Okay, right. So where was the previous one also San Diego?
Yes, like 5 minutes away.
Right.
Not very far.
And you came up in some pretty well-known gyms, like the kind of headquarters of Black House, or the Sheath Gym or X Gym. Is this right?
TT.
TT,
yeah, that was the...
TT. With Terere and...
With Terere, yeah. That was like an amazing time, we built like a super team, it was like... Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, you're very well known for... how do you pronounce Esquijitsu?
Esquijitsu. Yeah, so, it means like weird jitsu,
Very like kind of exotic or something like that, or
yeah, exactly, yeah.
All right,
exotic, yeah.
So you're the turtle master, you're the turtle guard guy. So how did this stuff really develop? Did you have any main influences with all these like legend guys you were in camp or in training with, or so how did all this come about?
Yeah, I think, yeah, like I said before, I think because of Terere and some other guys, like Leo Vieira, they were very good at attacking the back. So I became good on defending my back, right? Because they were attacking me.
Yeah, I've taken some classes from Leo before, and man, he's constant, and he moves very efficiently, and he finds the neck. His guillotine hurts so much, and I borrowed that from him. Like my guillotine, when I catch people with it, they're like, "What the hell was that?" I'm like, you got to go find these guys. You have to ask them questions. You have to say like, "How did you do that?" When if you get strangled, it's one thing to tap, but then like at the end, hey, what was that? You get me enough times. What was that? But man, there's so many great guys came out of that whole lineage. So San Diego, you came directly from Sao Paulo here? I think.
Yes. I'm a Paulista.
Paulista?
Yeah.
But you started with, how far did you take the karate back? So you originally got into martial arts through karate, yeah?
Yeah. I went to karate till the purple belt.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I fell in love with jiu-jitsu and I left karate. I'm sorry, karate. Yeah. Jiu-jitsu was more fun. Right?
Yeah, it is, because I think you can get right into the fun stuff on like day one in jiu-jitsu. But with karate, I feel like you're spending more time with the kata. You're spending more time with like these these one punch drills and things like that. And I know there's much harder variations. My first exposure to martial arts was karate also. And I was like, this is just where they send the kids. They don't want to, the parents want to get you a babysitter. Like karate is cheaper. Okay, go. So it's like after school thing in the US for a lot of people. But it took, I think I made it to orange belt or something. And then they just send you something else. So it's just a little kid. But yeah, jiu-jitsu is the most fun thing you can do legally, I think. But I notice a lot of guys in this area, they kind of like almost in Rio too, have the surfing jiu-jitsu connection. So
exactly, yeah.
Are you a big surfer too?
Yeah, I love surfing. I was a boogie boarder before. Right, I used to compete a lot. Even before jiu-jitsu, I used to compete in boogie board a lot, and that gave me a little experience, to compete in jiu-jitsu, I think, because competitions, once you learn how to compete, you can it's easier, to compete in other sport if you already know how to behave in the pressure situation, so yeah.
I feel like it takes a while to get past, if you haven't competed in anything, going right into jiu-jitsu or something like MMA or kickboxing, anything like that. I feel like it takes a while just to figure out, how you're doing things, how you're moving, you're breathing, the biggest thing.
How to break the ice, right?
Yeah. And then one day you like it. And up until that day, you don't.
Yeah.
And if most people don't go past that part, they go and try it once or 0 times, and then
it's true.
Actually getting out there and enjoying the pressure, enjoying the experience, and being able to actually do your jiu-jitsu with a bunch of people watching. Honestly, for people who are worried about it, not that many people are watching. There's too many things going on, and especially gi, some of these matches are kind of boring to watch. Like I watch my own matches back, like
right, I shouldn't do these there, but yeah.
Earlier on, everything felt much faster than it was. Then you watch it like, doesn't look like much movement at all.
Right.
So
yeah, that's why you gotta compete a lot, so you get used to. So it's just like another day at the gym. You go to the tournament. It's just.
It's like being in mat shape or ring shape. That just being able to take the pressure of competition training, and then being out there, like your body develops like calluses, not like your hands, but like your whole body. You can take more of a beating when you take more of a beating. But if you only do it once a year, it's like getting hit in like a car crash. You have a 5-minute, 10-minute match, whatever belt, whatever age, and it doesn't seem like much happened. Then the next 3 days, it's like, oh.
Totally.
Tape, ice, ibuprofen, I want all of it. So, are you still surfing actively out here in San Diego?
Yeah.
Trying to.
When the waves are really good, because otherwise the water is too cold here, So
here,
I'm a little lazy here to surf, put the wetsuit, the cold water. The waves gotta be really good. But when the waves are good, yeah, I'm there. I don't mind,
I surfed in Natal.
Praia da Pipa?
I think so. We were wandering all over the damn place. There were too many people with the tables and chairs, like the tourists everywhere, people coming up trying to sell you something every 2 seconds. I wanted a nice quiet beach, but I didn't find it. I like the city. Everything is so cheap there. I was looking at how much condos are. Oh my God. Because you can be right on the beach. I don't know what you would do for a living, but you could surf, you can train. But yeah, they rented me this foam board that the whole back was chewed off, and it's all they had. Everything else was boogie boards or skim boards. So I wanted to surf, and I was able to pop up. I could stand up. Like my balance is okay, but I'd eat it so hard. But it was fun. It was the most fun I've had in a while. Like I love the ocean. I just didn't get to surf much as a kid. So, but yeah, you're right about
Natal is a nice place. The water is warm, right?
Yeah, so that's the difference. I live in Northern California, and the beaches are so beautiful to look at, but our water is, I think, 10 or 20 degrees colder than here. It's a trick. You get this nice, beautiful day where, like, I live near San Jose, and it's 90 degrees, perfect. Let's go to the beach. You drive 40 minutes through traffic to the beach, and by the time you get there, it's so cold. The wind is hitting you. The water is colder than the air. You gotta be kidding me. It's a trick.
But the waves are very good, right?
Yeah, if you don't mind great whites and cold water.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we have sharks. We have the killer whale. Orcas don't care, but we do have great whites up there. So if this is something you don't want to,
Yeah,
I love sharks to look at. I don't want to meet one.
No, yeah, me neither. Right? They don't have a neck. They don't have arms. You can't deal with them.
No, there's gi, there's no gi, but the no land, the dealing with it in the water. You think it would be good for some of this guard stuff, but no. I still haven't figured out how to choke a shark. So guess that's next. So what's new lately? I see EBI has combat jiu-jitsu. What are your thoughts so far?
That's like we used to train, like in the past. Like old school people, they used to train for MMA, instead of like hitting with a fist, because you can get cut and stuff. We used to slam each other. Right? And it's like, you don't like it, but at least it doesn't hurt like a punch,
I feel it up front, it's going to be interesting because you'll be aware of which positions you can kind of camp and stall and which positions you can't. But I think someone's going to come around that figured out that palm strikes are dangerous. And what happens then? Like,
I think it's different, like a palm strike like this, or
are they allowing palm strikes or just slap?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
I guess after we.
Otherwise, yeah, like this is
these are
great.
great.
Like a punch, yeah.
And your hand doesn't break. It's tremendous. This is so nice.
It's like Royce Gracie used to do it in the first UFCs, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're wonderful tools. I don't know. Has there been there's been no knockout so far, right? With the first one they did?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think the first knockout. Then
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I don't think so. Yeah, I saw the results mostly.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's cool to be out there trying new things, trying to figure out like what is going to be the thing that is ultimately a lot of these tournaments. They're trying to figure out what's going to be the thing to make this sport or this art mainstream. Like what's going to put it on television. Even though it's already on television. Like I think jiu-jitsu at striking is MMA. Like that's already what they sold us. That's what it is.
It's true. I think the same. I think it's a good way to train. Like I said, like people used to train because it doesn't hurt that much. But if you really want to hurt someone, yeah, you're gonna.
Well, yeah, I feel like with MMA, the glove isn't there to protect the guy's face. It's there to
protect the hand.
That's it. You can throw as hard as you want.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to make it, okay, jiu-jitsu with striking, take the gloves off. And people have this misconception that because there's no gloves, there will be blood. No, the blood is there to tell you, stop. There's a problem. With the glove, then this is where you start having all this traumatic brain injury. People are talking about concussions, having problems later in life with the brain disorders. It's take the glove off. You're not going to throw harder than your hand will break.
Oh, yeah.
And totally.
I agree.
This takes away your concussions, at least from the hands. And if you don't want kicks or knees, take that out, whatever. But I feel like, yeah, jiu-jitsu with striking is MMA, or maybe some change, maybe some form of the rules changed a little bit, but that's where it went. It already did that. It already evolved to that. That's what it is. So
yeah, makes sense.
I mean, all of the other martial arts.
No gloves, less damage, right?
Yeah, of course.
Maybe a little more blood, but
no. I mean, if you just have somebody that doesn't care, if they're going to throw until their hand is just completely gone, the athletic commission's going to come in and see fingers pointing all different directions. Like you're done. You can't defend yourself. Your hand is destroyed, and then you'll have hand injuries. But they have hand injuries now in the UFC. The way the way the glove is shaped, they break one finger, or have one eye poke every event. But
that's like the eye poke. It's horrible. I don't know. They should like the fingers out. It doesn't makes, like a big difference. I think they should kind of, cover like the boxing glove,
So talking to guys that have competed like in a few different promotions now, I've heard the Bellator glove is nice. They don't have the injuries because it goes over, but you can still grapple. Like you can reach out like this, but there's still padding over your fingertips. They made this new rule where you can't do like this depth find, you can't reach out to check your distance with your fingers out. They made this new rule in the unified MMA rules or whatever, UFC, whatever. But Bellator has a glove, I think, that protects the finger injuries, the eye pokes a little bit. And then Strikeforce had something better even than that, allegedly. But
all right, that's cool.
Yeah, I think UFC is like sticking with this glove for some reason. Maybe it's like a branding thing. I don't know. But I've heard anyway that Bellator glove's a little safer, for at least for eye pokes, which you got injuries like, Michael Bisping with these detached retinas.
But, oh, no, it's totally dangerous.
That could have been from Vitor's kick. I don't know. So there's lots of dangerous things out there, but having a finger going through your eye sucks. It's like it's a premature way for a fight it doesn't have to end this way. So,
yeah.
Oh man. So in terms of competition, are you still actively out there competing with all these guys?
Yeah, I'm more competing on my age group now, right? I don't like it because it's like too short time. Like it's just like 5 minutes for jiu-jitsu. That it's
hard to get started at 5 minutes.
Exactly, people. You need people to get tired. You gotta make people tired, and in 5 minutes, it's hard.
It goes by very, very quickly. I can imagine you have a lot of name recognition. You've won championships all over the world. You're a name, so people are going to be very tentative approaching you. So this is going to kill half of your match anyway, just engaging at all.
It's true.
So it's I think there's circumstances where maybe 5 minutes is good, but I think maybe some of the higher level guys where, even if they're competing at your own age group, being grouped in with a certain class of athlete, regardless of age, like bring it back to the 10-minute or even 8, whatever, something, but
exactly.
Not
yeah.
5.
Give us a little more, right? Like maybe master 1 instead of 10, they do 9, master 2, 8, master 3, 7.
But now
that would be better, but not like
5 minutes.
Yeah.
After adult, it's 5. It goes from 10 minutes to 5 minutes for everybody.
Minutes, yeah.
So yeah, it's
and I'm the turtle. I'm slow. I need time to work.
Yeah, it's my instructor actually back in Union City or Newark now, Mike Prudencio. He mentioned your style. It was like, the Bruce Lee thing where he said be like water, where it's like flowing until it crashes. And I saw you rolling with the black belt visiting the other day from Costa Rica. What was his name again?
Fernando Moya.
Fernando Moya. This guy's a monster.
Oh my God.
I noticed you had a very unique way of moving. Like you would be moving almost like not slow, but very in like a very deliberate pace, and then you would just crash your hip to the ground or to his hip very abruptly. Like it was very sudden. So this guy is explosive. He's athletic. He's all over the place. But you were basically correcting space like very quickly and like kind of beating him to the punch. Like this guy is like very athletic, very explosive. Like I have friends in 4 countries. I know this guy.
Oh, he's a beast. Yeah. And heavy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys had a really good back and forth, like a 20-minute roll last Friday or something? Or last Thursday. And every time I think you would go for a choke, he would do almost like a bridge pass over. But you were still beating him over, like you were able to get your hip under him, and it's very cool to see you move in like a very unique way, but like very deliberately. So it's
thank you. Yeah,
it's something I want to kind of look more into. It's like I noticed your hip would just drive down like very quickly. You would be in like some people sprawl. You would like do like that switch, but when you would do the switch, you would just bam, your hip was hitting the ground very quickly. Like where things like this, is this something you picked up on from just training all over? Is this your own kind of style? Kind of like the flow and crash kind of thing is how I've
waiting for the right momentum, right?
Like a mousetrap kind of thing.
Yeah, like you save your energy, save, keep until you see the opportunity.
It was,
and then you gotta.
It was with great accuracy.
Fast, yeah.
It was a cool role to watch, and it especially interesting. Right after I watched, I talked to my instructor. I was like, "Yeah, visit here," and the way you were rolling, he described it very accurately, like just this flow and crash type thing. It's very cool to see. You definitely have a kind of reputation for that style. So the last one you did, I guess, was EBI. Was this the one here in California?
It was in LA.
Cool.
EBI, I think it was 8.
EBI.
Yeah.
Over at this the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was cool. It was the first time, because usually you hear about the story of, okay, or is he gonna when they go to the first round expiring rate, the first 10-minute round, right? Now, okay, you start in this spiderweb position, then you start with the rear naked choke. Yours is the first time where, no, I'm looking at the escape. I'm looking for, this is what I do. I'm the turtle guard guy. So this is the first time where people are actually excited to look at the escape instead of just to sort of look for the submission in the first 10 minutes or something. So it's a very cool story.
Yeah, my strategy was defending myself. It didn't work, right? I got caught, but
no, it happens. Everybody's so damn, like, even one small detail now, and it's down to like a micro detail, and it goes the other way. Just watching a lot of matches the way they're going, not all of them turn out the way I expect. But everybody's getting better and better.
I blame, I say like this, I blame a lot, my loss on EBI, for IBJJF, because they don't let you heel hook. Right? That's ridiculous, black belts, not being able to heel hook each other. It's a very good submission, and we are not training, we are not. And then when we go to a tournament that is allowed, we are kind of, weak in this point.
Yeah.
And
I had a talk with Eddie a few months ago, and my sort of thoughts on it. He mentioned, we have some specialties, obviously. The 10th Planet, their half guard is a thing. They're not known for leg locks, but he said give them 4 years and they're going to be like the leg lock guys, because they're incorporating this in their training a lot more. They're going out to find it. They're going to, use it in the competition. This EBI is something he's pushing with a lot of his top guys, with his students everywhere. But the way I see it is, with IBJJF, when you go to the tournaments, yes, they're more popular now. But who is there? You go, your students, your friends, your family, and their friends and family. You don't get many spectators that are just jiu-jitsu fans that are not wearing a gi at some point too. With EBI, they're on UFC Fight Pass. There are millions of subscribers on there paying. And if you see like Demian Maia get a very slick rear naked choke, or like just something you haven't seen before, and what is he wearing? He's wearing the shorts, right? The whatever, either the board shorts, the Bermudas, or the whatever. And then right at the bottom of the screen, it says, if you want to see more things like this, just click here and you can watch EBI without leaving your couch or without leaving your laptop or your phone. And all of a sudden you're watching no-gi jiu-jitsu, and it looks just like what they're doing in the UFC. And it has similar personalities, celebrities and stuff doing the commentary, and the production's very nice. So when people think of jiu-jitsu in 5 years and millions of people are exposed to EBI, and you're going to have more and more ex-UFC like celebrity types doing these tournaments, are they going to think of Royce Gracie from UFC 1, or are they going to think of EBI tournaments? And the guys that are not training those heel hooks, that they are not training this system for submission only, because in the gym we're not counting points. We're just tapping, going back and forth. We're just, no one's 2. No one does that. If someone goes 2 after they take, if they get knee on belly,
I do sometimes.
but you're messing around. You can do it. If like somebody did it, you're like, really? We're doing that? It would be weird.
Right,
it would be weird unless you're specifically training that. It's most of the we are rolling. It's submission only. So if this gets more popular than gi, we are all going to be in a deficiency unless heel hooks, slicers, whatever. Because what's an illegal technique? You bring a knife on the mat? No. We all have legs, so I'm not a specialist at this stuff, but I recognize it as a deficiency that I need to get it.
Of course. Oh yeah.
I need to be the best I can possibly be at it, and that means just doing the work. And if everybody is training for IBJJF style tournaments, and you're actively like, what's the balance? How many leg locks can you teach people? And then they go out on the mat and they forget and they use it. Oh, sorry, So I think at least legalizing heel hooks at the upper belts.
Right. Yeah. For the black belts.
I think even brown.
Yeah.
That's
whatever,
a lot.
Whatever. Yeah. I mean, but for black belts, come on. Right.
I mean, for
white belts, I agree. Yeah.
They don't know what they don't know. That's fine. And I'm not saying it to be condescending, but it's true. They wouldn't know. I think teaching some defense of this stuff is
even the ripping rule. The ripping rule in jiu-jitsu, it's so like ridiculous.
It's weird.
It's okay like for white belts, for beginners, okay, the ref stop, like it's dangerous. You guys can spin like to the wrong side. You guys can do something stupid, so stop. But for black belts, oh my God.
No, it doesn't make sense. And I've gone. Have you taken the referee training course like recently?
Not recently.
Well, they change every 5 minutes, and I've had the same course from 2 different organizations with like 1 month apart.
You did the one from my BJJ?
Yes.
Okay.
This year, also the one from BJJ Tour. So from Francisco Mansour. And they both within 1 month of each other, because to go get the registration, I wanted the certificate. It's like $500 later, CPR and background check and all this. Okay, whatever you need, I want the poster on. I want the damn frame thing. So
I think that's important. The CPR, all those things. The referee course, so you understand better the rules of the sport you're practicing. I think that's all very, very important.
I think the background check's good.
Right, the background check. I don't agree with the rules. That's a different, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
But you gotta know, right?
Yeah, I saw one match that I did not understand. It was in. This is obscure, but it was No-Gi Worlds this year. Just 2 purple belts, and it got very it's hard to say famous because it's like. It's internet famous, but Reddit with the BJJ subtopic on Reddit, there's thousands and thousands of people on there, contributing to these articles. And it was one video, and I was watching the match. The guy used the lockdown position, just regular lockdown. He hooked the guy's leg and then just brought him over into. I don't recall the almost electric chair, but he didn't close his hands. He just used the sweep. He just hooked the leg, he flipped him over, and then he went to get side control. But in doing so, the guy somehow hurt his knee, or he said he screamed because his knee hurt.
That position hurts the knee.
But if you stretch it out. But he just swept
No. I have a student that does that position, and he hurts so many knees.
Really?
It's when the guy tried to spin like or try to resist, somehow, he doesn't want to get swept. It hurts the knee, but it's legal.
So here's the problem. The guy
legal.
The guy yelled, "Ow, my knee." These are 2 purple belts, No-Gi, IBJJF No-Gi Worlds this year. The one that just passed in the Cow Palace in San Francisco. The guy was hurt. They brought the medic out. I thought, okay, injury. This is easy. The guy that applied the sweep, he wins because this guy is injured.
Yeah.
No, reaping, disqualification. Yeah. And a lot of people got pretty bent out of shape, upset, like didn't understand what that rule was, how that was reaping. And as reaping was described to me by these guys in the 2 different courses I've taken, no, it's not reaping. So
lockdown is not ripping. It's different.
No, that's what I think as well. But again, there's gray area where I would see people ask questions in the two different courses, and it's based on the same material, but the interpretation was different. Like there was different answers on some different things. So it was like, because there's so many different positions. We're like, these guys are like pretzels out there, Nogi, and you're like, oh, he's doing this, and now they look at intention also, right?
Yeah.
So they said if you were, and this, I don't care if it's boring for people out there. It's I actually wanted to hear some opinions from some listeners. But if you have somebody in an ankle lock, for example, and they defend the wrong way, you know, like they go inside
they spin the wrong way.
It's their fault, and if they get hurt or tapped, it's their fault.
Yeah.
As opposed to like if you were to defend the wrong way on purpose to get the fake DQ where people used to put the foot over. So now the referee has to pay attention to who's actually moving them, and this can be kind of tricky.
Exactly. Totally.
You could fake it.
Totally. Yeah. If you fake well, right?
I bet.
If you're a good actor. Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't like it too.
It's weird. I'm wondering how many of these. So I think the rules are very important in a couple cases for the earlier belts, maybe the seniors, and definitely the children. They don't let them jump guard anymore.
Oh, in the white belt.
Yes.
And it's very, very dangerous. I saw so many injuries.
Jumping guard?
Oh my God.
Just the slam or?
No, they fell over the knee.
Oh.
Yeah, they felt that one guy jumped, the other guy is not ready to catch, falls with the knee, you know, like, oh man, it's like, it's bad. It's bad. That's like, you know, I think for white belts cannot jump guard, that's like
it's good.
It's a great thing. You know, you gotta, you know, like prevent the injuries on the white belts as much as you can. They don't know what they are doing.
They're saying for kids, for the referees to, if when they do this, or there's any standing position like this, you're supposed to kind of like be behind them to almost catch if they're going to fall, because there's the cervical spine injuries or I guess very common for the kids, and they don't want anybody injured.
Maybe the kid will not slam. Maybe the kid will slam because they don't know. So you got to be ready. You got to be there. But maybe the kid get unbalanced and then they slam, you know, not on purpose. So.
Oh, there's enough adults that are not white belts that slam when they know they're not supposed to. People, they'll get desperate, and there's a lot of slams. A lot of times you see people slamming each other, and there's no DQ at all. They're like, "Oh, that's not a slam." Like, okay, that guy looks like he doesn't know where he is, but okay, no problem. Like, oh, he fell, and it's a power bomb. So, what's coming up for you? Any competitions coming up? Anything planned for you?
Oh, like I said, I will do the San Diego Open with my team, and then after San Diego Open, World Masters for sure. World Masters, and I don't know. Yeah, let's see. I'm more focused on teaching now, you know, on building the team, but yeah.
I know I want to get out. I want to do American Cup because it's right in my backyard. As long as my knee is okay, I don't care. I don't want the meniscus or an ACL tear right now. I don't want surgery. But I want to compete. I think, especially as a newer black belt, you have to do. You're white. I'm a white belt again. Because the level, right? It's okay if you're the best brown belt. What happens? There's a drain, the pressure release, and then you get another belt. But then at black belt, okay, you go to masters. No, you're in masters. There's all these guys named Gracie and Machado and all these guys. These guys are in masters now. So it's not a pressure release. They just get better and they burn less calories killing you. So it's not the same thing. You know, the best blue belts, they're gonna be a purple belt. And no matter how many people sandbag tournaments and stuff, this can only go so far. Eventually, they get pushed out. And
Oh yeah.
But even
the black belt.
Yeah, no, there's no pressure release. You just you get better and you do it with less effort. You can, burn less calories and still be a killer. It's great. But yeah, I was in U.S. Open and I did Master 1 Absolute, and Queixinho was in my. He wound up getting first. I got third in the bracket,
right.
and at the end he's like, "Man, I see this big guy. I don't want to fight you." I was like, "I wanted the match with you." I was thinking the opposite thing. Is I like that guy. He's a very nice guy, but I wanted the match because I wanted his spot. I wanted first. We can be friends later.
Right.
I'll ask him 1,000 questions. I like his jiu-jitsu. I think he's a great guy. I wanted to fight him though, because it's a good opportunity.
Of course. You want to fight the good guys, right?
Yeah, you're in here. Cool. I saw at, what was it? San Jose International Open. It was Elliot Kelly, one other guy, and then Keenan Cornelius were super heavyweight for the adults. But then Keenan was, I guess he had a staph infection. Something was wrong, so he didn't come. So, oh man. Would have been cool, but the two guys that were left were Elliot Kelly, and man, he did well. This guy, do you know this guy? He's
yeah, he's a monster.
He went against my friend Kyle Kingsbury at Fight to Win. This is on a Friday night, and Kyle did good, but Elliot, he won the match. He's such a solid grappler, wrestler, and jiu-jitsu guy. The following day, he did the gi version of San Jose International Open. He wins this. But in a really fun match, actually. There's not that many guys in the bracket, but he won. Then he went and did no gi, and I think at Absolute he beat Vinny Magliège.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that was the part where
one after the other one.
So he won championships 3 days in a row, and the only other guy I saw do the same thing was Queixinho, and this guy was sick the whole time. I mean, like you can tell this guy had like the flu or something because he looked terrible. Like he on the mat, he was attacking. He was a savage. Like this guy has heart. He's doing sprint. Like he's jogging between matches. Some guys sit there, lay down, like fan me. He sprints. This guy's like he's 100% heart. But yeah, he won the whatever weight title he is in Fight to Win, and then went to San Jose Open and won on gi and no gi.
My God.
Yeah, just seeing it was very inspirational, man. Just because he's a very nice guy, and he goes, I know he was sick. I saw he was very like a bad cold or the flu or something, and he kicked ass 3 days in a row. I'm like, okay, no excuses. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna work harder. So it's cool, man. I think you have a win over a friend of mine's instructor. I actually mentioned, Tom Lawler from UFC. I think you had a match with his instructor a while ago.
Who's his instructor?
I forgot the name. I'll get back to you. I'll send it to you on text. But it's funny how small the world is. Because the week before this, the episode I just put out yesterday was Fernando Moya, your guy, the one here. His roommate is my friend Alejandro in Costa Rica. Yeah.
Oh,
Plus,
really?
Christian Graugert was on my show last week from BJJ Globetrotter, who is where Fernando was before in Denmark. So like this connection within one day, I'm like, I know this guy through 4 countries. Like, this is insane. It shows how small the world is for just jiu-jitsu, but in general, like not just he knows the guy, he lives with my friend.
Oh my God.
In Costa Rica. And he was living with the guy that was on my show 2 days ago, and he's training with you, and you're on the show this week.
That's cool, yeah.
It's
small jiu-jitsu world.
There's either very few jiu-jitsu black belts, which is not true because there's a lot of us now.
There's a lot, yeah.
Me saying it.
And so many tough guys, right? Oh my God, man.
Oh man. Yeah, even the purple belts and upper.
Oh yeah.
They're killers. They're like
the purple belts they're like world class purple belts that win. Oh, they like black belts.
Oh, they're black belts, but they're pissed off.
Yeah,
they have something to prove.
Yeah.
They're like reckless black belts, like because they will take risks the black belts won't do. Like they won't take those because who cares? They can do it again. They can just do it again. But I think ever since that Kumite with Keenan Cornelius and these guys, all of a sudden, like you started getting more of a focus on these competitive purple belts. They existed before. You know, the Miao brothers were coming up. They existed for sure, especially in Brazil. But seeing them portrayed this way, like having these tournaments and actually watching these matches and seeing it. Okay, watching these guys grow up. If you look at Joao and Paolo, Keenan, all these guys that you knew them since blue and purple belt, and now they're killers. Some of the best guys in the world. It's crazy. Yeah, they're. I rolled with one over at Jean Jacques, this guy Eric Medina, and smaller guy, but he was trying to kill me the whole time, and when he was a purple belt, and then he went to EBI and the one in Mexico and fought Barrett Yoshida, and close match, very close. And when it was ending, he had Barrett in a head and arm choke. Yeah, it was close. And he wound up losing because Barrett got him with an arm lock, I think, first. But, they go back and forth. He had him in the arm triangle, and then they ran out of time. And this is the purple belt. Well, now he got his brown belt after this performance, obviously. But seeing this guy go with Barrett, somebody that's obviously very high level and successful.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's like, okay. I don't feel so bad about, I did fine. We had a good roll. I was just very impressed by the level of some of these purple belts now. Everybody's getting good. So this is my motivation getting my black belt is I want to learn everything. I want to train with everybody. I want to go to the best people, get my ass kicked, do the tournaments that I'm probably not going to win, but go try to win.
You're learning.
Try to win.
Oh, of course.
Because at some point you do that enough and you start winning. And I want that.
Of course. If you keep trying, if you don't give up, you end up winning. That's for sure. No doubt at all.
So we were talking before I came in, kind of in terms, and I'm just being grouchy and sleepy and sore because of training and everything hurts. And my theory was, if in terms of just doing jiu-jitsu as a way to stay in shape and just to keep growing, that maybe gi with kimono would be a less injury prone route than no gi, or just full gi versus full no gi. And you had some good points on that. So what are your thoughts on kind of where I came off with that?
I'm not sure if there will be less injuries with gi than no gi, I'm not sure of that. But what I like in the gi, the gi for me, it's like a tool, to make your no-gi jiu-jitsu in the case better. I think also beginners, they should start no-gi first.
Really?
Yes. Because it's more simple, right? Especially the kids, when they start with the gi is a thick material, plus they have the belt. They got all confused with the gi, with the belt falling. It's hard. You teach the kids a choke, they cannot they can't grab the collar. The collar is too thick. It's hard for them, and no gi, it's much easier. Right. The good thing about the gi is because they like the belt, they feel like a ninja, they love, but at the class goes on, you see they trying to, they hate the gi. And so it's no gi, it's much more simple. The thing is, no gi, it's a little bit faster.
Yep.
Right? And sometimes it's hard for people control the other one, right? With the gi, it's a little bit easier for you hold someone down.
For sure, there's with more friction. But do you think with the lack of friction, it's the more movement as you'll get a little bit older, that with more movement, with less space control, with less distance control, there are opportunities for maybe more injuries, like in scrambles, for maybe newer people that are a little bit older, for example, not necessarily people trying to compete, but just the average Joe that comes into class and wants to just do jiu-jitsu, just to have something.
The problem is that no-gi is too fast. Exactly. It's hard to control. So people sometimes they get too explosive, they do some crazy things and they end up hurting themselves, but
Yeah, it's easy enough to do, but
right. But if you play like when I go against like a beginner, or a crazy guy, I'm more thorough than ever. I'm kind of, like I give the guy something, if you face the guy will be trying to, like do something crazy. If you give the guy the back, he will relax a little bit more. He will come try to choke you something, but he feels a little more safe because he's on your back. And then I can try reverse, and maybe eventually, get a top position and finish, reversing, getting the guys back. But like I said, yeah, if I'm doing nogi, it will be easier for me to defend myself, right?
oh yeah, just being able to get to this position.
It's easier to escape. I don't have to worry too much,
Yeah, it's not easy to hold people down no-gi, whereas in a gi you're stuck.
Yeah.
And you get heavier because of all the water, and there's a ton of friction. I think with the explosiveness and dealing with that, I feel like all of jiu-jitsu is kind of like distance, space management, dealing, hand fighting, all this stuff. But I feel like anything, it's like education. How you have with the scramble, people rolling the wrong way. We were talking about earlier with the leg locks. I feel education's the key, and just saying, "Oh, legs are the devil." Don't. It's like the thief in the night or whatever, the burglar, whatever different euphemisms they use to describe leg locks. I think education's the key, because a lot of people say the same thing about CrossFit. I'm not a CrossFit guy, but they say, there's injuries because this, that, or no. This is instruction. This is the culture of the gym, and if people understand how to defend leg locks, that they recognize, hey, when you're in this position, this is how you handle it. You're not going to freak out and just try to run away or pull back or turn over. Like there's people that'll straight ankle locks, for example, they're legal for white belts, but a lot of gyms don't teach them at all. Like, no, this is forbidden. Don't use. This guy said they're going to compete. Well, how it's not forbidden there?
Yeah.
You should teach them to, to deal with that hip, the foot on the hip, or teach them not to roll that way. Or I think education's the key to a lot of stuff. Just like if there's a bad CrossFit gym, yeah, people are going to get hurt because they're lifting weights in, bad form. And same thing, if there's no education on the leg locks and you get a student that comes in that's all they do, that person's going to seem like a wizard at first because, man, he has this thing. It's okay. But once everybody learns how to handle it safely, it's fine.
Yeah. Totally.
So I know everybody's asking lately, and it's probably like beating a dead horse. You're kicking a dead, I don't know the expression, but, the competition jiu-jitsu versus self-defense, and what's the right balance in schools, and do you have an opinion or a sort of a philosophy on sort of what's the right balance, or do you focus more on one than the other?
I'm not a very, like I did a little bit self-defense when I started jiu-jitsu, like when I just started, and I think it was like very good for me. It gives you a really good fundaments, a really good base, something you will need for later on. It's like, I think self-defense it's like it's the beginning. It's like it's great. It's the structure of jiu-jitsu. It's like the fundamentals.
Sure.
Right? So, but yeah, after the fundamentals, you go to advance. Right?
For sure.
And then jiu-jitsu, it's like, it's more advanced.
Oh, for sure.
Right? That's the difference. And jiu-jitsu, it's a sport now. People don't think about, like hitting, like in self-defense, they care, a little bit about, like they don't try to hit that much, but they try to block when people try to punch or kick, and then they block. This part is really good. The when we don't train that in jiu-jitsu, how to block kicks, how to block, but after you block and you get closer to the person, then it's like, it's jiu-jitsu.
We have we have this part, right? We have this part down, but I think there's some places that are doing more, like, I'm seeing more academies now. Just I travel around a lot. Like I do this a lot. Just see different gyms, hear different instructors' philosophies on it. And I think it comes down to what the student wants. And in the beginning, right? Yes, the self-defense thing is good. I think that what the guys over at Gracie are doing, the endurance for women's empowered and women's self-defense, I think it's great because they have 100 women in some of these classes. Most schools have like 1 or 2 women, and it's better now, but a lot of places don't. And being able to get them out on the mat, however they do it, they're doing jiu-jitsu. They're adding more self-defense in. They're more of the blocking punches and kicks like this. It's more traditional self-defense, but it's based on jiu-jitsu. It's based on their Gracie jiu-jitsu style. So I think it's good.
Oh no, it's amazing. I like the way you said it's what the student want.
Yeah, and I think many don't say what they want when they come to the gym. They just look around, they say, "Oh, this is what it is," and they just do it. But having that, filling that gap and them doing this sort of thing, I think it's cool because I think many people might get false sense of security because I do this martial art and now I can handle myself on the street, but it's not always true. It's different now because it's so sport focused. Everybody I've talked to that came up in Brazil, like a black belt from in Brazil, would be able to handle themselves. Like if anything happened, like they should. Yeah. But with competition focus, and now in the States, there's a lot of there's a few generations passed from this generation, and I don't know that that's always the case here necessarily. Anyway, I went to a seminar with Henry Akins, one of Hickson's like 3rd degree black belts. He teaches like a lot of self-defense curriculum, but he was a bouncer for 15 years in LA in these clubs and stuff. So he said, okay, well, we used to teach this grip break this way. You're doing a 2-on-1, just do a standard grip break, just boom, right? But if this is like a self-defense situation, your 2-on-1 could be getting punched in the face, or could be them double legging you when you break the grip. So he would do it in a certain way. Like when he would do it, someone grabs your lapel, you do the wrist lock. He would make sure his head was always out of the way. There was always something blocking it. So adding that background to it, to some of these like very classic like Gracie Jiu-Jitsu self-defense techniques, saying, look, this is the technique, but I worked in this industry for this long. And then I felt like adding that, it was like a good sort of value or a good just perspective.
Yeah, totally. There's a guy, you ever heard about him, Artilheiro?
I think so.
Yeah, he works with the police.
Okay.
He does some self-defense too, but he adapt. He changes a little bit, for the situation, and it's like, it's really cool.
I like that concept.
Right? He put a little of MMA kind of together, and
yeah, it's all of this stuff. Like, it's crazy how it sort of is going down different avenues. Before, it was luta libre and jiu-jitsu. Now it's gi and no gi. But then you have MMA, but now you have combat jiu-jitsu with the EBI thing. Then you have EBI, you have the gi style tournaments, and then you have what they're doing with self-defense, and you have the different gyms that are going and training the police and the military now. Like, there's jiu-jitsu being used all over.
Oh yeah.
we had one guy come in that was a former NFL player, big 6'6", 275. Like, you see this guy and you're like, and he was one of Jean-Jacques' guy, and he came up by us in my gym in California, in Northern California, to come train during, I guess, his off season. And he was a white belt, but he was damn technical, and he was a super athlete. So just dealing with someone this size, like, it keeps you honest for sure. Like, even, okay, you're in the side control and he can just throw you off because this is like not a regular person, right? So it's pretty cool. But the one thing that he's a really nice guy, and the one thing he took away and said is he's using arm drags now in the NFL.
Oh, in the NFL?
Yeah, so in American
That's
football,
nice.
you catch like the Niners or any of these guys, or now the Miami Dolphins. If you see them doing the arm drags in there, he's teaching them now just to do the arm drag in football. Totally legal. It's pretty cool. So yeah, jiu-jitsu's everywhere now. It's everywhere. We watched the WWE now. You see jiu-jitsu moves in there.
All right.
They're going back and forth, and see like Kimura's, the Undertaker uses some kind of he uses gogoplata. It doesn't look like but that's what he calls it. It's kind of, if you want to do it like the marmalada, like the fake way, it's like that. Like if you were doing an arm bar, if we look at it, you're like, that doesn't hurt. It's like that. But it's still seeing the influence all over.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's all right. How long we? About an hour. Cool. So, you got any stuff you want to talk about? Want to plug? Any sponsors, stuff like that?
Oh, Leon Opticus for sure, right?
Mr. Lionel. Love this guy.
Always helping me, always supporting.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I love the glasses. I've got I think they're the Lutadors in the car.
Oh, you got the Lutadors?
Yeah, I got a couple different pairs of these glasses. I love these things. He's a very cool guy. He sponsors a few of my friends back in Northern California. He's a longtime sponsor. I think Christina Barlan.
Yeah.
All these guys. Lionel's
and he's a tough training partner.
Yeah, he is. He's a tough guy. I saw he just he's a brown belt under you now.
Yeah.
And he did well at he got gold in this recent tournament about a month or two ago.
We did
And then his wife trains too.
His wife's trained. I think both of them got gold.
Yeah, nice. I saw he posted the pictures on Facebook before. She's been competing, quite a bit lately. So it's very cool seeing them do this. And
his son is a wrestler also.
There you go.
Jiu-jitsu guy too. Yeah, good jiu-jitsu. But I think he's more on wrestling now.
For now,
yeah.
When school's over, then but it's cool seeing the whole family is training together. But also that Leo Optics, that's for him. That's their family business. That's something they're doing together as a project. And it's cool. I support everything they do, and really quality glasses. I like the case, the bamboo case they come in. So I'm a big fan. I like Lionel a lot. It's a good guy, man. It's a cool name also, Leo,
yeah.
It's good. We gotta. Do you know if they sell in Brazil yet?
Man, they crazy in Brazil for they not selling. I think you can import. You can buy here and then you pay a little tax. But yeah, people in Brazil they crazy about.
Oh, I bet. I know all of the, it's crazy. The first time I went to Brazil, the jiu-jitsu stuff was like 2005 or 6, I think. There was more Muay Thai gyms in some states than jiu-jitsu. But then the UFC got popular, and then the jiu-jitsu was like this big popular thing there again. And obviously it's a Brazilian thing. It's a Brazilian art and sport, but there were some slower years than others. I know there was only 1 or 2 gyms in Goiânia for years. And now there's every academy is represented there.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see that it's
also a lot of like I think a good part of the like the top fighters move to America or even Europe, out of the country to teach. So that slowed down, a little bit also, Brazil about jiu-jitsu.
It's true. It's everybody's here.
Yeah.
They're your neighbors. You're surfing with them. You're training with these guys.
Yeah, it's a big loss for Brazil, I think, but right?
They'll grow back. They will grow back.
Yeah, no, like there's still some amazing people back there, in Brazil, but it's a loss. Trust me.
Yeah,
it's a big loss. A lot of people are in the UAE.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
teaching.
There's money
building an army there, and
they're all over. You have guys. I mean, everywhere. I used to travel for work a lot. I went to Singapore. I trained when I was there. And this is even 2006, 7. They still had jiu-jitsu then, even then. And now they have these big camps out there like Evolve in Singapore. Every country you can think of has jiu-jitsu now. And for a lot of these guys coming from Brazil, it's a great opportunity,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even the guy from BJJ Globetrotter, he was living in Denmark, and now he's in St. Bart's. So the guy's in paradise. He did the interview from a hammock. He's got his sunglasses on, got the crazy hair, and he's on his iPhone with Skype in a hammock, just living the life. He just trains jiu-jitsu and hangs out.
What is a hammock? What is a hammock?
Like connects like two trees and just
okay,
like
all right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just hanging out, just does jiu-jitsu. They wanted him to come over and run the jiu-jitsu program in St. Bart's.
St. Bart's,
yeah, it's not a bad problem to have. So it's cool, but yeah, the black belts, the top competitors from Brazil, they'll always be there, and they'll come back with better ones. So, and you're gonna run out of academy jobs at some point in U.S. Like there's so many academies now.
It's true, right?
Before everybody that would go to a different gym was like Creonchi. You can't say it now because they just go to a different neighborhood. No one's gonna. There's Yelp. No one's driving 30 miles for jiu-jitsu. Everybody wants it right there. So somebody gets their black belt. New gym. People go. It's weird. It's a whole different world.
It's totally different.
But cool, man. What's your diet? You got a thing on diet?
Oh yeah, I'm vegetarian.
How does that work?
Yeah, I became vegetarian like maybe first I decided to cut the meat.
Okay.
Right? I was feeling bad for the animals. I start, thinking, I don't know, like I think it when they start, like a big campaign on Facebook about the Chinese people, like doing the festival, that they kill dogs and cats, and then I start to think, and I see, man, there's like people are saying, like they doing wrong, but it's like their culture, like we do cows and chickens, and I say, and I start to think about that, and then I decide, like to cut the meat. I was just like doing fish for a year, almost 2 years, and then I decided to cut the fish also.
So in terms of protein, where do you get it?
Yeah, I'm still doing eggs.
Okay.
And milk.
Sure.
My next step, I think it's cutting the milk, right? But the eggs, I don't see, like the bad thing about the eggs, you're not killing no one, it's like there's a problem how they breed, the chickens, but not like, it's not bad to get the eggs, I think, like, so.
Yeah.
And I love eggs, man.
I like eggs too, a lot. My problem isn't with meat necessarily. Mine is with how we obtain it, like the factory farming. Mm-hmm. I know it's evil, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see this. There's enough information out there, and I know the different cultures make a big deal. Like if an animal's killed a certain way, it's okay, like kosher or something, and halal. There's different ways where they can butcher the animal where it's supposed to be better or less. But I think still, you're killing the animal on any wide scale way, like any factory farming, and even obtaining the eggs and the chickens and whatever, how they the conditions they have to kind of endure, and their whole job in life is just to produce eggs. I think, but I think that's with factory farming in general. I honestly think if someone is willing to eat meat, they should be willing to kill the animal themselves.
Yeah.
So
I think that's more fair, and
yeah. So at some point, I want to try that, just getting my own. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw, like, when I was like a kid, I saw they killing a pig in a farm, and
It's hard.
That was horrible.
Yeah, it's not fun to watch. And I worked with animals a lot as a kid. I worked at the Humane Society, so the animal shelter, the no-kill shelter. I've worked like in cruelty investigation, where you have to go and make sure the animal, if someone makes a report, you have to go and make sure everything's okay. And in doing those jobs, because this is my mom was big with humane rights education. Like, she was like a big person with like animal shelters, basically animal rights and this stuff. So me and my brothers, this is like always our first job, and it was a lot of work, and you see a lot of things you don't want to see, man. So the way that people are willing to treat animals it just makes you feel bad for being a person sometimes, because the people are capable of some real evil when it comes to I don't know how, and not even just looking the other way for food. People they abuse all kinds of animals for all kinds of reasons, and there's just some not that good people out there, man. So I totally hear where you're coming from. I would be a bad vegetarian. I like so much of this stuff, but I'm trying to cut the bread and sugar out personally, because I know it's like they're trying to make a bigger deal about this right now in American culture, that really educating the public how sugar is as dangerous as, heroin or any of these other drugs. And it sounds like a joke, but it isn't. And it's not just, people need to watch what they eat. No, it's everywhere. It's in the way we advertise foods, the way we, our medicines, the amount of bread we consume, the amount of processed foods, alcohol. These are the drugs. This is the problem. And because it's backed by the government so much, and that they say it's fine, like the commercials on TV, it's all sugary foods, and they put it in everywhere. So for me, I'm waiting to see that something is actually done about it. The science is there already, but getting away from the processed food, the factory farming, the sugar, all this stuff, because it's killing us, and it's part of the culture.
Yeah, but I'm not that concerned, about killing myself. I'm more concerned about killing,
Oh, I hear you.
Ones.
This is my mom.
Right?
Totally. This is the same way as my mom. She likes what she would always say.
Well, if you want to kill yourself, that's that's fine, but not the other ones, right? You don't have the.
I just worry about like the long-term impact on the planet, the people, the population, what we could do as a species if we're focused on making things better instead of just making money all the time. So I think a lot of it is just educating the public and giving the people who have less a fair chance at having a good life, not just trying to nickel and dime, take every penny they have. So I don't know. I try not to get like very political with this stuff, but yeah, like my mom's the same way. Like she says, like dogs and cats, like animals are innocent. People she doesn't trust, Yeah. So yeah, I hear where you're coming from, man. Well, anyway, guys, we went. When you're down in San Diego, you got to come to 99. So there's 99 or 99 headquarters?
99.
99 headquarters. No stakes here. I'm kidding. Eduardo's the man. He gave me a good beating last week. I learned a lot. Just wondering, do you have a quick technique we can show? Do you have something we can?
Yeah.
All right, we got a little bonus content for guys that are downloading this on YouTube instead of the iTunes guys. So if you're listening to it, you got to get on YouTube right now and search for this episode. But you're already subscribing, right? Anyway, it's Eduardo Telles. We're at 99 HQ here in San Diego, California, and
awesome.
What do you got?
Thank you so much, Clinton. Yeah, thanks for the visit.
Thank you, man.
Okay, and thanks for the interview.
Absolutely.